Hello, friends. Wildly of Wild Fempire here with your emotional and energetic reading for this week, beginning September 25th, 2023. We have a really beautiful week this week. We have the full moon in just a few days. We just passed through the autumn equinox portal here in North America, the Northern Hemisphere. And this is my favorite time of year. This is my favorite transition through the wheel of the year is at this autumn equinox. Not only because the weather is pleasant and we get to feel that slowing down beginning to happen after the big push of summertime, but this time also encapsulates the opportunity to harvest, to really take stock and review our lives, our home environments, our work, the way we show up in our relationships. It's just a really juicy time to gain clarity, particularly if you live in a lunar-based way or if you are attracted to moving through the calendar year more in tune with the witch's calendar, which has a new year that begins at Samhain, so November 1st, Halloween time. So this autumn equinox time represents that on-ramp to the witch's new year, to this opportunity to live life outside of the time and calendar that we've all been trained to adapt to, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense, right? I know I feel this in my body every year when we go through daylight savings time. My animal body resists and says, this is not correct. We are changing numbers on a clock on your phone, but it's not syncing up with what my animal body is seeing and feeling and experiencing in the environment around us. So beginning to mentally and emotionally orient ourselves to a lunar-based way of experiencing our time and a seasonally based way of experiencing our time offers a different perspective. It offers a way for us to be more empowered in how we experience our days and to begin creating rituals for ourselves that support us in actually coming back into our own biorhythms, coming back into connection and cooperation with our environment, with the cycles of a day, through the cycles of a month, through the cycles of a season, through the cycles of a lifetime. It brings us back home to a more human way of living. And that is the medicine of this week, the medicine of this full moon. I'll give a bigger video drop for the full moon in just a few days. But for this week, we've been gifted the energy of the Five of Swords. And the fives are always a chaotic number. Transition is chaotic. If you know anything about giving birth, transition is literally the name that we give that period where a woman's cervix fully opens and we're transitioning from being in labor into actually moving a baby through the birth canal. Transition happens when we go from being a baby to being a toddler, from being a toddler to being a child, from child into adolescence and puberty, puberty into adulthood, adulthood into maturity, maturity into our elderhood. There are always these transitions that we move through. And this card encapsulates the ways in which we hold ourselves back from those transitions. And it's usually a mental thing. It's usually a mindset or a story that we are telling ourselves that make it challenging for us to fully let go and just be in the transition without trying to hide it or fade it or fix it. I can personally speak to this as I am in this transition of perimenopause. This is a time in a woman's life where she is so slowly transitioning out of fertility and transitioning into a deeper level of wisdom and maturity in her stepping up into being a good elder. And there are a lot of places in our culture where this transition might be shamed, where it might not be given any space to simply be an experience, just as a young woman getting her first moon blood is simply an experience. But we have all of these stories that we've been gifted or that we've overheard that influence how we see, feel, and think about a particular life experience. So, this week, with this full moon, with this energy of the equinox, as we are slowly stepping towards which is New Year and the opportunity to reset for a new solar year, we are all being invited into considering how much mindfuckery do we create for ourselves around these very basic natural transitions, and how much more pleasant and joyful might life be if we just let those stories go. If we just let perimenopause be perimenopause. If we just let the ending of a relationship be the ending of a relationship. If we just let a death process be a death process and allow ourselves to feel the feelings of all of these transitions without mentally and emotionally resisting because we have some shameful or judgmental story about the transition. And this can apply to any transition in your life. Maybe you're choosing to leave a job. Maybe you're choosing to start a business. Maybe you're choosing to create space from a family member. Maybe you are choosing to dive deeper into a romance. Maybe you are choosing to be celibate for a while. Maybe you are choosing to change your physical routines to better support your body. Whatever the transition is, transition being an uncomfortable period while we're changing from one normal to another normal. What if we just allow transition to be a normal part of our lived experience and not something that we have to try and make more comfortable? That is the medicine this week. Can we sit in perhaps the discomfort, the minor or major discomfort of a transition, and let it work its magic on us, the same way that labor works its magic on a birthing mother and creates resilience in them so that they are a better parent on the other side. Just as perimenopause is working its magic on me and honing me through her discomfort into the better elder that I will be. What if the medicine of discomfort could have a good place and we aren't always trying to push it away, but rather we let it in and through. We let it in and we feel it and we let it go. How might that change the way we experience our day-to-day life? That's the curiosity. I invite you to do some journaling on that. I invite you to feel into that concept. I invite you to let me know in the comments or with an email what this brings up in you. I love having conversations with my people. I would absolutely love if you shared this with somebody and had a conversation. Let's put this in the field. Let's have these thoughts. Why the fuck not? We're here to live life. Let's explore and see what feels true. And this time, as we head towards Samhain, the veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. It really is a beautiful time to do some of this deeper self-inquiry work. That feels like our Moonday message. Thank you so much if you've stayed with me this far. I would also really love to invite you, if you want to do some deeper self-intimacy work, into my Holy Boundaries 28-day email challenge. It is live and open for purchase right now. It is one full moon cycle of deepening your own self-knowing. We move through journal prompts, lunar-based living, an altar map, all the different types of boundaries and why you might be experiencing difficulty in boundaries. And it's delivered to you in these sweet emails every morning. Just a few minutes every day, creating a ritual for yourself and devoting one moon cycle to exploring your holy boundaries. It changes you, I promise. And if you don't receive anything from it, it's risk-free. You can get your exchange returned. So why not? I invite you to consider jumping in this full moon and doing it from full moon to full moon, one full moon cycle, and see what kind of a difference it can make in your life. Take good care. I hope that you have everything that you need, and I will tune in with you again at full moon. Bye for now.